even under consideration a new concept where we give 20% of the Doge savings to American citizens and 20% goes to paying down debt, because the numbers are incredible, Elon. So many billions of dollars, billions, hundreds of billions, and we're thinking about giving 20% back to the American citizens and 20% down to pay back debt and pay down debt, which is, if you look at value, if it were a real estate balance sheet, the debt is tiny, but we still want to pay it down. Doesn't matter. We don't look at it as a piece of real estate. It's America. We're going to get it down through intelligence, hard work, and, as Elon said, a word called caring. You have to care. By doing this, Americans will tell us where there's waste. There'll be reports.
Unconditional.
So Stephen, we're hearing about these Doge dividend checks that would be 20% back to taxpayers, 20% to pay down the debt. 60% is left. Who gets that?
Well, the way that it works is when you achieve savings, you can either return it to taxpayers, you can return it to our debtors, or it can be cycled into next year's budget, and then it just lowers the overall baseline for next year. So in other words, you can just transfer into the next fiscal window and then lower the overall spending level. And that means that you can achieve a permanent savings that way, and that reduces the deficit.
And when is it that people might see those checks?
Well, this is all going to be worked on through the reconciliation process with Congress that's going underway right now. As you've seen, the Senate's moving a bill, the House is moving a bill. The President has great confidence in both chambers to deliver on his priorities. I would just take this opportunity to note that President Trump has made a historic commitment to the working class of this country to fight for major tax relief and major price relief. And cutting spending, as Doge is doing, and cutting taxes is the key to delivering on both of those promises, and President Trump is resolutely committed to doing both.
Thank you. And on Ukraine, I guess this is...
Donald Trump says he's contemplating the idea of direct payments to Americans, floated by Elon Musk. He's always floating ideas, you guys. The planet's wealthiest man, arguably Trump's most influential advisor, aka the co-president, Viva's saving from Musk's sweeping and controversial, cost-cutting, innovative, a payout program with a public roadmap which could lead to further inflation in his potential far less in lump sum payments than advertised. A new concept where we give 20% of the Doge savings to American citizens is under consideration, Trump said. Under consideration. We may not get it. Wednesday at a conference in Miami, adding another 20% will go toward the $36.2 trillion national debt. He did not specify where the remaining 60% would go. I think we know where the 60% is going to go. Trump's comments came a day after Musk, who leads the Department of Government Efficiency, aka Doge, said he'll check with Trump on the idea of a Doge dividend pitched by James Fishback, the CEO of an anti-woke banquet investment firm, Azora. Fishback's four-page formal proposal calls for a tax refund check sent to all American taxpayers' households after Doge announced end date of July 2026. The idea of Doge payoffs took off, reaching Trump within 5 days of Fishback floating the idea on Musk's X social media site in a video shot from a car. Oh, God. The proposal estimates each household will get a $5,000 check, a sum reached Viva the 20% refund allocation mentioned by Trump in dividing Fishback's estimate of $2 trillion in Doge savings among income tax paying households. Y'all tax paying households. That $5,000 check relies on highly ambitious and potential impossible target for Doge to cut that much in spending. Doge so far claims it has cut $55 billion using Fishback's same thread of allocating 20% of Doge savings to the dividend checks across about 79 million households. That would result in about 137.50 checks. So basically $137.50 checks per household if they were sent now. So basically we were only getting $137 if they sent out the stimmies. Okay? And that's even before accounting for the potential inflated 55 billion figure as Bloomberg estimates. Doge savings thus far are likely just 8.6 billion, which equates to a dividend check of $21.50. Boy, I tell you. Musk has seemingly abandoned the 2 trillion target. Yo, what? He abandoned it? Said last month that represents a best case scenario, but he has a good shot at getting about half of that savings figure. Yeah, because you're getting most of it. That's why you can't reach the trillions. Your ass. I'm not sure how they've got into that number. Now, Treasury Secretary Scott told Forbes in November about Musk's 2 trillion target. If those achieves 1 trillion in savings, that equates to a roughly, what is that, 2,500 check Viva Fishberg's proposal. Payouts to a massive swath of citizens would immediately inject billions of dollars worth of cash into the economy, which would lead to higher prices based on basic core economic principle of supply and demand, as consumer spending demand would immediately increase without a change in supply. Damn. So basically, it's going to be more inflation than it is now. The Doge dividends evoke memories of the 814 billion worth of COVID-19 stimulus checks greenlit by Trump and then President Joe Biden in 2020 and 2021. The government's COVID stimulus program were responsible for about a third of inflation by early 2022. The Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, as inflation peaked at a 41-year high of more than 90% by June 2022. Oh, excuse me. Inflation is still well above policymakers' long held 2% target, coming in at 3% last month. Fishback devoted about a quarter of his proposal to push back against inflation concerns, arguing his idea of sending checks to only net income tax paying households. So basically, you got to be working to get this stimmy. Rather, okay, will lead to less inflammatory consumption as a higher earning individual have a demonstrated prosperity to save, not spend. The incremental dollar received Fishback also argued since the Doge checks come from savings, not deficit spending, they won't cause inflation. Musk addressed concerns about the not so physical conservative Doge dividend checks aired by Scott Adams, Dilbert, creator of the Dilbert cartoon, who became a popular, avid, controversial political and social commentator on Musk's social media site. The worst case scenario for Doge is our government treating Doge savings as their new piggy bank, which I fear Congress is already doing. Adams wrote Wednesday, Musk replied, we need to balance the budget as first priority. The federal government ran 1.8 trillion deficit last fiscal year, meaning there is a significant work to achieve that first priority before money to any taxpayer payouts. Baby, this is what I'm thinking, you guys. We may see the stimmies. We may not see the stimmies. But it's all about what are they gonna do? I still want to know where that 60% of the Doge dividend is gonna go. I'm very curious. Are you guys curious? Leave a comment down below.
Trump is talking about sending out $5,000. They're calling it a Doge dividend to all of the American taxpayers. I guess to help boost the economy or crash the economy or whatever. I'm saying not that $5,000 wouldn't be nice. Y'all already know what I'm gonna spend it on, but we already have not had money for a little bit. So where is it coming from? I feel like if you give everyone $5,000 right now, it's going to be a very good 2 months and then a very terrible rest of the year. Either way, if they do send it out, I will be accepting it. And honestly, if you don't want yours, go ahead and slide that over to me too. But I don't think we should be sending out $5,000 to everybody. Not right now anyway.
So the Doge Department just announced that Americans are going to be receiving $5,000 stimulus checks or refunds, or this $5,000 dividend that's going to come from the savings that the Doge Department has created. To pack this, there's a few things. First things first is this money is apparently coming from the money that the Doge Department was able to save by cutting down on government wasteful spending. And I don't care what side of the political aisle you get on, I think we can all kind of agree that, yeah, sure, we would like our money, our taxpayer money, our hard-earned taxpayer money to be better spent. Much of this money that has been saved is questionable, because I've read a few articles where they said that they have saved X amount of billions of dollars and they had to retract that and go back and forth. I mean, the amount of money that has been saved is, in my opinion, still up to question, but that's not the fact here. The fact is that they were able to save a certain amount of money, and based on this calculation that they were able to say that they did, that they're then going to be able to send everyone a $5,000 Doge dividend or stimulus check. The argument behind this, being able to send this and it not create inflation or anything like that, is because that people are more than likely than not are going to be able to save this $5,000 that they are sent. If you ask me, if you send some people $5,000, the majority of people are not going to save this money. They're going to spend it. But hypothetically speaking, let's say that this new Doge Department was able to save a certain amount of money that now every taxpaying American is going to be able to receive $5,000, and that it's somehow, if they were to send this, it's not going to create an inflationary environment where prices rise because everyone is going to save this $5,000. Let's say those two things did happen. At the end of the day, my prediction as a CPA, do I think that we're all going to get sent $5,000 checks or this Doge dividend? Absolutely not. I don't think so. I don't think you should count on it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that Trump just can't, snap his finger and be able to send every American family $5,000. It needs to get through Congress, and I can't see that happening, just given how it's made up right now and how our Congress is not going to agree to send every American $5,000, and I wouldn't count on it. So if you keep hearing about this in the headline that every family in America is going to receive $5,000 because of this Doge Department that was able to save a certain amount of money by cutting back on government spending or being able to fix certain things in the government that we have been wastefully doing, I don't think so. So I wouldn't count on it.
So is Americans getting ready to receive $5,000 stimulus check from Donald Trump? The answer may be yes.
Under consideration, a new concept where we give 20% of the Doge savings to American citizens.
According to Elon Musk on X, people were asking him, hey, all the money that we're pay down their bills while also providing relief to all Americans.
So could your $5,000 Doge stimulus check create more inflation? Elon Musk just proposed they could give part of the money saved with Doge back to taxpayers, and some are worried it could create more inflation like the COVID stimulus check. Doge aims to cut $4 billion per day and is targeting $2 trillion of savings by July 2026. Trump confirmed the idea of a Doge dividend was under review, and the U.S. government could share 20% of the Doge savings with U.S. taxpayers. This would be a one-time $5,000 payment per household. They would also use another 20% to pay the U.S. debt of $36 trillion. The U.S. government is currently spending around $7 trillion per year, including $1 trillion of interest on its debt, but it's only collecting $4 trillion from taxes. If Doge can reduce the spending by $2 trillion to a 2019 level, and if interest rates go down, the budget would be balanced. However, this reduced spending is very recessionary because it's less money the government is putting into the economy. This could be offset by the Doge stimulus check, and since there are no supply chain backlogs like in 2020, it's possible to see no inflation.
So all Americans could get another $5,000 in stimulus checks, according to Elon Musk and the new Doge team. So since they've been finding out that so much taxpayer money has been wasted, they feel that it would maybe be fair to just give that money back to everybody. And for those who don't know what taxpayer dollars were spent on, you can go to the website and see for yourself. Now, some people claim that it's all fake and it's just all a hoax and taxpayer dollars aren't real or whatever. I don't know what they think. But regardless of all that, they really are going through all these government agencies and they really are thinking about just giving people money back. But what could happen if you just give everybody $5,000? Well, it could lead to more inflation just like the previous stimulus checks did. But it would essentially almost be like a tax refund. But like I said, you start giving people just a bunch of money like that, oftentimes it surges the prices of everything else, and then we get put in a worse spot in the future. Where yes, that money in your account might be fantastic right now. I mean, I sure as shit would not say no to $5,000, but keep in mind, do you want inflation to go up more? I don't know. Let me know in the comments though what you all think about it.
Stimmy checks might actually be coming. So this guy James Fishback proposed to Elon Musk and the President Donald Trump a tax refund check called Doge dividends, which Elon Musk actually considered and said, we'll check with the president. This Doge dividend will give back all the wasteful and unnecessary spending that the Doge team uncovered in the last 2 weeks, with the total budget cut that Elon Musk plans to save being $2 trillion, and that's his best case outcome. And this is how the math breaks down. Taking 20% of Doge's total savings, which would be $40 billion, and giving it back to 79 million American households, equating to the $5,000 check. And you actually won't believe the wasteful and dangerous spending that's been revealed from the Department of Government Efficiency. $80 million just in New York City for immigrants who get luxury accommodations. But get this one, $20 million for creation of Sesame Street in Iraq to promote inclusion. This is all your taxpayer dollars, by the way. So let me know what you think about this proposal. In my opinion, Trump has no reasons not to go along with this. It would basically just be giving back the tax-paying, hardworking American the money that was stolen from them. And honestly, I think it would be hilarious to see everybody who didn't vote for Donald Trump or who don't agree with Elon Musk and the Doge team either shredding up their check or not taking the 5K. But we all know that's not going to happen.
Elon Musk is considering sending all Americans $5,000 checks using Doge savings. James Fishback, an alleged outside advisor to Doge, pitched the idea on X, stating that it would be a, quote, tax refund check to be sent after the expiration of Doge in July 2026, funded exclusively with portions of the total savings delivered by Doge. The proposal calls for 20% of Doge's target $2 trillion in savings to be returned to the approximate 79 million tax-paying households, which the advisor said would result in about $5,000 per household. Musk responded with tweets by saying he will, quote, check with the president. Read more at Forbes.com.
Elon Musk, aka Robin Hood, aka the real MVP, aka the IRS boogeyman, is putting in that worky. My man is putting in a request to ask Donald J about a proposal for a Doge dividend would give taxpayers a refund check of $5,000 funded by the savings of his Department of Government Efficiency. I must admit, Doge is doing some Robin Hood work right now. The boy is a straight savage. What y'all gonna do with $5,000? I feel like most Americans, when they get that $5,000, like they gonna go buy some bullshit, some TVs, some all kind of materialistic crap. Because if that was me, like I'm spending that shit on education. All right, I'm spending that shit to learn a skill to make money. You feel me? That's what I'm gonna do. What you doing with that 5K, fam?
Hold on, that's too fast, mama. Oh! That's too fast.
Stimmy checks might actually be coming. So this guy James Fishback proposed to Elon Musk and the president Donald Trump a tax refund check called Doge dividends, which Elon Musk actually considered and said, we'll check with the president. This Doge dividend will give back all the wasteful and unnecessary spending that the Doge team uncovered in the last 2 weeks, with the total budget cut that Elon Musk plans to save being $2 trillion, and that's his best case outcome. And this is how the math breaks down. Taking 20% of Doge's total savings, which will be $40 billion, and giving it back to 79 million American households, equating to the $5,000 check. And you actually won't believe the wasteful and dangerous spending that's been revealed from the Department of Government Efficiency. $80 million just in New York City for immigrants to get luxury accommodations. But get this one, $20 million for creation of Sesame Street in Iraq to promote inclusion. This is all your taxpayer dollars, by the way. So let me know what you think about this proposal. In my opinion, Trump has no reasons not to go along with this. It would basically just be giving back the tax-paying, hardworking American the money that was stolen from them. And honestly, I think it would be hilarious to see everybody who didn't vote for Donald Trump or who don't agree with Elon Musk and the Doge team either shredding up their check or not taking the 5K. But we all know that's not going to happen.